A big statement has come in from the United Nations, and this is with regard to India's fight with regard to poverty. The UNGA, the United Nations General Assembly, has stated, and I quote it here, India took big strides in helping the farmers. This is a big statement, United Nations praising India, hailing India's poverty fight. UNGA has said India lifted 800 million people out of poverty in 5 years. This, remember, is also as much about the helping the poor and the farmers, but the fact that it's coming from a global organization like the United Nations is the reason that it has been noticed as well. Remember, India is one of those few countries that throughout the COVID pandemic, despite the population, despite still not as developed as the Western nations, managed to keep a stable economy and ensured its domestic interests were taken care of. So that's a big news coming in. It's a statement of praise from the United Nations with regard to India's fight against poverty. Let's listen in now to the reactions coming in on this.
Rural farmers in India who never had a relationship with the banking system are now able to transact all their businesses on their smartphone. They pay their bills, they receive payment for orders. 800 million people lifted out of poverty. Because there's a high level of internet penetration in India. Almost everyone has a cell phone.
So that's a very interesting statement, and it is appropriate as well. The fact that our UPI systems, digital banking, has basically brought, irrespective of any sort of differences, together on one platform and have given them those opportunities that were unthinkable earlier. Shashank Mattu, my colleague, is joining me right now this morning. Shashank, good morning, and how should one look at this specific statement that has come in from United Nations? Why must it be noticed and acknowledged? And importantly, it is about the digital freedom that they have got.
Absolutely. I think that one of the things that India would be most happy to see while seeing this statement by Dennis Francis, the President of the UN General Assembly, is this acknowledgement of India's success in leveraging technology for development. Whenever you see Dr. Jaishankar or Prime Minister Narendra Modi go out into the world, this is a very key part of their pitch that India is a transformed nation. It is a country that is able to leverage technologies, what they call digital public infrastructure or DPI, for domestic development at a level and a scale that very few countries have been able to do. So whether it's Aadhaar, whether it's UPI, whether it is DigiLocker, these are technologies that India has been pushing very aggressively as a fundamental driver or transformer of India's domestic policy. Now India is going abroad and going to forums like the United Nations, and increasingly you're seeing countries, and this is exemplified by the statement made by Dennis Francis that you were referring to, it's increasingly seen that countries around the world are interested in the technologies that India is offering. India has signed agreements across the world, Latin America, Southeast Asia, Africa, to export these technologies to countries that have looked at the success that they have enjoyed in India and now want to develop that for their own countries, whether that's digital governance systems, whether that's ID systems like Aadhaar, or whether that is a direct benefit transfer system like the Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mudra Trinity, the JAM Trinity that India has developed. So it's a powerful endorsement of what India has achieved domestically at home, and it's also a powerful endorsement of what India hopes to achieve abroad, because these digital technologies are increasingly a pitch of India's bid for leadership.
Important point here, Shashank. It's not just about United Nations. It's also about how other countries are curious. They are looking at what these UPI systems that India has developed. Remember the German minister at a vegetable market, how he has used the UPI? That video had gone viral. So other countries, even Western nations, are looking at how this can be safely put into their in their systems as well. Thank you very much, Shashank. So United Nations say the digital fight has helped in the fight against poverty as well when it comes to India.